The Nerd Academy podcast is released weekly at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, available on our website at www.thenerdacademypodcast.com and wherever you listen to podcasts. You can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also help support the show by going to patreon.com/The Nerd Academy podcast, where every donation allows us to bring you more exciting content every week.
Hello there, and welcome back to Knights of the Nerd Republic, the show where your favorite nerds talk all things from the galaxy.
Oh, my eyes.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to make sure that
you.
people can see you. We're even for the tattoo smack. You caught us off guard. We were talking about the Teletubbies for a second there. I am your host, Jarod the Dark Jedi Bachman Stubbs, and joining me is the Gungan Dark Lord, Professor Levi.
boys.
And we are joined by the Consular, Alexis Capel.
Hello. I don't think I've been on Nights in a really long time.
I think this might be your first time on Nights.
Because I don't remember the intro. I don't remember the intro music, and I don't think I was on here yet. So here I am.
Yes, we have Lexi back on Nights, which is fun. And it's a good thing because we got the two gamers on. Talk about our favorite Star Wars games.
I'm a gamer.
I got my gamer headset.
Are they good?
They're mediocre.
Are they good? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's how it is with my gamer headset. $50 for this garbage.
Jarod got me mine, so I don't want to say too much. But
you can roast them, it's okay.
They're so cute, but the sound quality's shit. Sorry if I swore, but I love them. I wish they were better because they look great, but
well, here's what I will say. I am glad I got you what will serve better as a display piece.
They're like my backups. You know,
it's always good to have a pair of backups.
They work great. They work for what they need to do.
I'll use that logic the next time I shop for clothes for you.
Yeah?
It'll look great as a display piece.
What is that even supposed to mean?
It means that every time Levi wants to get me a cool anime shirt, he ends up going through a Japanese website. And unfortunately, there aren't many men in Japan built like me.
Yeah.
Oh.
Beer belly and linebacker shoulders. But that is neither hither nor thither. Levi, since I know you're going to be departing from us early.
Yeah.
Talk about your favorite Star Wars video games, bud.
Okay. Bud. So, the first Star Wars game I played... Tell me if, like, my mic is going haywire, because I really can't hear myself.
No, you sound great.
All right. The first Star Wars video game I played, because I'm the poorest middle-class kid you've ever met, at least as far as my childhood goes.
I don't know.
It's like an ancient hand-me-down called Star Wars Shadows of the Empire.
I'm so glad that's where we're starting.
And when I was like 7 years old, that video game was amazing to me, who had never played any other shooter game. It's the first shooter game I've played. And it was really fun until I got to level 5, or the one after Ord Mantell. What was it? Gaul Spaceport, where you were tracking down Boba Fett, and you made it to Gaul Spaceport. I remember there was like a brown Wampa on this planet. Had to kill that one. Took a lot, but you could kind of glitch the game, make it not come out of its cave, and you can just shoot it in its cave and it would die. But Boba Fett was like really hard to beat. But yeah, it was fun. And you play as my favorite Star Wars character, Dash Rendar, who's such a badass. He's so cool. He takes down an AT-AT, right, in the old canon. He takes down an
He served on
AT-AT.
Hoth, yeah. I always forget that he was like on Hoth with the Alliance.
On foot, escapes Echo Base. Like, he's one of the last people to leave Echo Base. He takes out an AT-ST on foot. And then third mission. Honestly, I can't remember the third mission, so I'm not going to talk about the third mission. Fourth mission, he kills one of the IG-88s. There were 4 IG-88s, for those of you who don't know the old canon. And yeah, IG-88A, he was the first to like gain will power. And then he tainted the other 3 to help him take over the galaxy. And IG-88A actually succeeded for 2 seconds, but then died because he hacked into the Death Star the second time around, and then got blown up. And his consciousness or whatever also got blown up.
Death Star 2, for those
Yeah,
of you
Death
at
Star
home.
2.
During the Battle of Endor, he hacked into it while,
Yeah.
while Palpatine is falling.
Is the IG-88 Rendar kills, is it the same one from Empire?
I think it is, just because like it's more fun to say it's the same one.
It's either B or C. I don't know what happened to D. I did know. I forgot. Because it's been a decade since any of it mattered. So I forgot. Yeah, so he killed one of the IG-88s, which is cool. That fight was scary for a 7-year-old. Very, low quality, like 64-bit. Very dark in the cave. This was on Ord Mantell. The level was fun. You were train hopping, but then the final battle was very scary. And he shot out the plasma cannon like crazy, like as if he didn't have the same ammunition limit that you did, because he didn't. Just shooting out purple balls everywhere on the screen. It scared the hell out of me. But eventually beat him. Yeah, and then I couldn't beat level 5 on my own until I was like 13. But I was able to beat Boba Fett. There were like 2 or 3 rounds in that fight where like, I defeated Boba Fett. Psych! He comes back with his jetpack. The first time I was getting close when I was 13, I fell off the map. I fell out of the building. I jetpacked up through the hole in the roof and then fell off.
Oh,
I didn't fall off the map, but there was no way to get back up. There's not enough fuel in your jetpack to get back up, so I had to restart the level months later because I was sufficiently pissed off and I just couldn't come back to it.
I love that you got just so rattled by it. You were like, I'm not touching this for a while.
Yeah. But what other levels are there? You go in the sewers. That's a difficult level because you can't see. That's one problem with the game, is you can't see half the time because it's so dark. Trying to think. Oh, the swoop bike. The swoop bike. That's the 3rd level, I think.
I know
No.
I know the swoop bikes are early in the game. I've not played Shadows
Yeah.
of the Empire, but like I know the basic flow in the story.
It's one of the levels. And yeah, that was fun. You commit like, I don't know, a swoop bike and ethnicity. Could you call it genocide? You kill an entire swoop bike gang that was sent to like kill or capture Luke Skywalker. Very fun. And then at the end, the very end of the game, it's a space battle. pretty good space battle from what I can remember. Like better than it would have aged better than the rest of the levels. You blow up Black Sun. Dash Rendar was originally responsible for wiping out Black Sun. Prince Zyzer was the leader, right? Green Man. Kind of looked like Darth Bane in certain pictures.
Zyzer, Shizor, I've heard it so many different ways. I don't even know how to say it anymore myself. Looked like Darth Bane and Piccolo had a baby.
Yes, exactly. And didn't he have one of those
big ass ponytail with like a dash
like
of like
from
Avatar, the Blue People movie?
What dynasty was that? It was when the Mongols took over and that became a thing. I forget. Anyway, yeah, that's what he looked like. You blow it up, you blow up their space castle. And that's when Dash Rendar died. But like rumors say he's still out there just living life, which is amazing. Beautiful game when I played it as a 7-year-old. Unplayable now. Completely
yeah, it unfortunately kind of aged like milk. Because
Yes.
I saw a really cool retrospective on it that was like it's just one of those things where the gaming industry has just moved so far forward that it has left so many gems behind.
Yeah.
And not obscurity, but just this
There's no
unfortunate
reason to
lack
play
of
them.
replayability.
Yeah, and that's what happened to Shadows of the Empire, unfortunately. The camera, controlling the camera sucks. The camera's really bad. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I was so good with the game when I was younger. And then my other flame, once I grew out of that, was Star Wars The Force Unleashed for the Wii. The things you could do in that game. It made you feel powerful.
It was all in the motion controls.
And I found the black saber crystal. So I had a black lightsaber and a white lightsaber. No.
Levi, I really do not want to upset you right now. You're crossing the streams because the black kyber crystal was not in the Wii version.
Then it must have been in The Force Unleashed 2.
2, I know, had the black one.
I found the black one in The Force Unleashed 2 then. Which I'm disappointed by. It was really short.
Because the 2 is criminally short. But I got so angry because for a while I did not have an Xbox, but I had Force Unleashed for the Wii. And I had a strategy guide for it. And I remember hearing and like seeing YouTube videos about how you can unlock a black lightsaber crystal and how it's like on the Death Star level. It's like right before you fight Vader and Palpatine.
Okay.
And like in that observation dome. And I was searching high and low
and you
for this goddamn lightsaber crystal.
Because it was on the Xbox.
Until there was like, I think it was a note in the strategy guide that pretty much said, "Hey, dummy, this is only on the Xbox and PlayStation ports."
Oh, because it was too. Because I remember having a black and a white, and you only have 2 lightsabers in the second one.
Yeah. God knows what they were going to do for 3. If that ever came to pass.
3-sword style in your mouth.
Yeah.
Or perpetually hovering it.
Yeah, you could do
like
the Treya thing, yeah.
What else was gonna... Yeah, first Force Unleashed, so cool. Right? Dismembering, like actually dismembering.
That was
people?
Also 2.
No, that happened in 1 as well.
No, you couldn't dismember in 1.
No way.
All ports. There was no dismemberment in 1. 2, they brought it in. And that was like weirdly, it was a selling point for 2.
Because it's cool.
It is cool. I just remember them being like, "Hey, you like your force power fantasy? Do you want to cut stormtroopers to ribbons?"
I got to play as this really, really powerful dude. who was too powerful, by the way. So I'm glad he's not canon anymore. And Darth Vader. I got to play as Darth Vader for a level. That's cool, right?
That prologue is so cool.
Yeah.
That fight
Who
against
doesn't like a
Galen's
bit
father.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever you want, you won't find it here. Turn back.
Juno. I don't give a shit about Juno. I don't.
Proxy's my all-time favorite droid.
Proxy.
Favorite droid of all time.
Ooh. I like Lebo. I'm partial to Lebo, but that's because I'm partial to Dash Rendar.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I just really like the Force Unleashed. What about the lava level with Sith guards?
So in the Wii version,
Okay, so that's Force Unleashed 1.
it is one,
Oh, yeah.
and you go through the Raxus Prime
Yeah.
junk refinery that they like turned into a Star Destroyer foundry.
Wasn't that
But in the Xbox version, you do not fight a Shadow Guard as the boss.
you don't
battle.
fight shadow guards?
You do, but that's not the final boss
Oh,
on
what's-
Raxus.
Oh, what's the final boss then?
Proxy.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah, because you know how they talk about how there's like a weird like droid consciousness on Raxus Prime?
Yes. Oh, it's Proxy. Okay.
Proxy gets a little crazy
Uh-huh.
because of it, and he's like, "This is my opportunity to like finish, like fulfill my programming." So like he shows up masquerading as a Shadow Guard. You fight him. He then transforms back to Proxy, and then there's like the second stage of the fight. He's turning into all the people you fought so far. So he turns into Coda. He turns into Shakti. He turns into Maris Brood. I don't think he turns into Kazdan Paratus. But
Castan Paratus was so easy. Just threw shit at him.
much harder on the Xbox.
Oh yeah, it was so funny on the Wii. Just see this spider carrying a yellow stick. He just runs at you.
So when the first time I played it on the Wii, I accidentally killed him in one force push.
How?
Because I don't know, because he like weirdly positioned himself, and I just like, because I saw that like all the junk was lit up that I could throw it. So I just like knee jerk force pushed, and then like all the junk hit him at once. And then it just went to the cutscene with like, Masters, I failed you again. Yeah, and I was so confused by what had just happened.
Easy.
But and then Proxy, after he,
Yeah.
Galen hits him with like, I've seen all of these modules. There's nothing you have that I haven't seen before. And then
Okay.
Proxy's like, haha, bet, and then turns into Darth Maul.
Oh, how does he know what Maul is?
Or the same reason he has like a weird data bank of every other force sensitive in the galaxy.
Okay. Huh.
There's another cutscene in that too, where Proxy jumps Galen right before you meet Juno, and he turns into Obi-Wan.
That's strange. Yeah, that doesn't happen in the Wii.
No, but there's weird shit that happens in the Wii that doesn't happen in the other versions either.
Yeah.
And again, we're going to be doing an episode all about the
Oh, okay.
weird publication history of the Force
Yeah, we'll skip
Unleashed.
that then.
But just
My
the
final-
fact that all of them are so different.
My final flame. I just need to make sure it's brought up. The original Star Wars Battlefront 2. Beautiful, and it can still be played today. At this point in video game history, the way the AI know when they're being shot at, even if you're like sniping them, is a little outdated. There are certain glitches, like I hate the fog of war glitch on Megiddo. Terrible. I hate that I can't see sometimes. Jabba's palace looks unfinished. Yeah, and aside from that, yeah, it's still a very playable game.
Have you ever seen or played the Battlefront 2 2005 DLC?
No.
So, as heroes, you
I saw.
So
But
you
that's
get,
for the PC, right?
I guess there was an Xbox one too.
Oh, well, I
Because-
was on the PlayStation 2, so.
I think it would be both because I was replaying it not too long ago on my Xbox One.
Mm-hmm.
and like downloaded it from like Game Pass.
Yeah, you get to play as like Plo Koon and Kit Fisto.
So just Kit Fisto for the light side.
Oh, okay.
And then Asajj Ventress on the dark side.
Oh, that's
but instead of giving Asajj dual lightsabers, they give her lightsaber nunchucks. Don't know why. Don't understand how the hell that even works. But they gave her light chucks. And it's funny as shit.
Well, there was a lightsaber whip in the old canon.
Actually, still canon.
Light whip. Really?
Yep. They made their way back in the canon in High Republic Test of Courage.
Oh, well. Yeah. I mean, light chucks aren't... There. It's not insane.
It's not insane. It's just so silly to look at. It's the way they're designed in the game. That, like, visually they look goofy.
Whip? Did Darth Talon have a light whip?
No, Dark Lady Lumaya was like the famous one with a light whip.
Okay, I'm just confusing it with Talon because she looks like a dominatrix.
Probably.
Yeah.
I hate Talon.
I succeeded.
Too. I hate Talon too, man. I love Crate, dislike Talon. She's doesn't really have
wasted
anything
potential.
going on.
Yeah, exactly. And hot Twi'lek, but she's red this time. Ooh, dumb.
What I hate is the way that people like weirdly pair her off with Darth Maul for no reason.
Because they're red and they
look the same. That's literally the only reason. But every Sith during Darth Crate's during the Order of the One Sith all have Sith tattoos. Like they're all tatted up.
Right.
So why is it only Talon and Maul? It's stupid. It's weird. Also, there was like a weird fandom menace rumor that Talon was going to show up in The Mandalorian, which gave me a brain hemorrhage. Because I was like, she doesn't show up in Legends for another couple 100 years. So please explain to me how that makes a lick of goddamn sense. But that's neither here nor there.
They don't have to have the same plot, though.
And to a degree, you're right. But when the stance of the fandom menace is we want our old canon back.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, that's funny.
And we're just going to plop Darth Talon into the middle of this era in the timeline where she does not logically make any sense being.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, right now, Thrawn shows up a little too early. Right? But
it's a new canon, and his whole story has been, reworked.
It's still well done. Yeah. Yeah, so Battlefront 2, 2005 version. French kiss, chef's kiss. Beautiful. I love the campaign. You get to play as the 501st. That's awesome, right? You go through 501st being cool clones and then traitors. Oh man. And then like one of my favorite Star Wars quotes to this day comes from the campaign. It's a good thing we were wearing helmets because not a single one of us could look her in the eye. Right? This was back when the clones didn't have a chip and they were just trained from day one. They were groomed to always betray the Jedi.
Well, that was the weird thing, was that like the whole Order 66 thing was like, it was a code word for a Jedi coup has started and your orders are as follows. Like, and I like the chip more because I think it makes it more tragic. That like the clones turn on a dime. Whereas the old one, it's just a little bit like, well, they never gave a shit about the Jedi. It didn't matter. But no, that one's haunting when they're talking. Yeah. Well, because like
they're talking about Ayla Secura because the 501st came to help her legion on Felucia.
And they were like, we wouldn't have made it off
the 238, 328.
That sounds right. Because I know Obi-Wan's is 212. So I know that I know theirs were close together in number.
Yeah, so some of the 501st went to help Secura's group. I don't know if that's still canon or not.
I don't know. Well, because that was another thing that kind of changed slowly, and mostly due to Clone Wars, was the idea that like the 501st, because of Battlefront 2, was framed as like Republic Special Forces.
Right.
And it slowly just became
No,
Anakin's
they're
battalion.
just Anakin's, but they happen to be just the best Legion.
Yeah, because they're serving under Anakin.
They have to be the best or they're gonna die.
Yeah.
So
my favorite, piggybacking off of that, hold on. I know I can get to it very quickly. Is the narration going into Operation Nightfall? Hold on, I have it because I have there's like a Photoshop picture of me as Anakin marching on the temple that I use as the caption for it on Instagram. Hold on. What I remember about the rise of the Empire is how quiet it was.
Yeah.
During the waning hours of the Clone Wars, the 501st Legion was discreetly transferred back to Coruscant. It was a silent trip. We all knew what was about to happen. What we were about to do. Did we have any doubts? Any private traitorous thoughts? Perhaps, but no one said a word. Not on the flight to Coruscant. Not when Order 66 came down. And not when we marched into the Jedi Temple. Not a word.
Yeah, Nightfall.
My hair is standing up from reading it. Like it's so haunting.
You get to commit genocide.
And for anybody who has not had the opportunity to play the 2005 Battlefront 2, Tamora Morrison narrates the 501st journal entries.
And he does a fantastic job.
It is his best work in any Star Wars. Like, even more so than him killing it as Boba in The Mandalorian. Like, him narrating the 501st journal in Battlefront 2 is all the way at the top. And and it's shit like Nightfall.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, the campaign is good. Galactic Conquest. Oh my god. Amazing.
Who's your go-to faction for Conquest?
The CIS. You get to play as Darth Maul on like half of all the maps. That is stupid.
And he's busted.
It's playing on easy mode. Every time I play with Cam, he refuses to pick the CIS out of principle, like an idiot. So I pick the CIS. Every time I go to Coruscant, leader bonus. When we start, I sprint as fast as I can to the opening where the Republic command post is. Right? You know where they start. They can easily get to the council chamber and then the library. You get to the entrance where they can come out and go to the council chamber. Just throw your saber up the stairs, back, throw it again, back. 2 minutes. No, not even 2 minutes later. Da, 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 victory for the CIS because I just killed 150 people. Or I killed them so fast that they couldn't spawn quick enough before I took the command post. He is so broken.
I had, like, again, talking about Star Wars power fantasies with these games. I was playing, I can't even remember what side I was playing on Coruscant. This is like months ago.
Mm-hmm.
I was replaying Battlefront 2 on Coruscant, and I ended up in like the tinier room. I think I know we're the same one, but I was standing inside with the command post and they wouldn't stop spawning. And I was playing as a leader. And like at that point, like if you're in that smaller room as Darth Maul, like one saber stroke clears the room. I want to say I was playing as a Republic because I think I was playing as Windu.
Ew.
But like even then, I mean, he's not even like the 5th best Jedi in the game. But
I hate this kid.
It was just massacre, just like people flying all around me. It was hilarious. And then for the first time, because like, you know, sometimes the enemy, you'll just get like this giant clump of them coming down the hallway.
Yeah.
For the first time, they stayed together long enough for me to get right up in their business with a lightsaber. Oh God, it felt so good. It was the best shit ever.
Oh, hunt mode. Hunt mode's cool. Did you play all the hunt modes?
Hunt mode is cool. It's not for me, but I can appreciate it for other people.
Yeah, if you turn the timer longer, then it's a lot more fun. You can play on Hoth. You can either be Rebels or Wampas. Wampas have a really cool kit and a lot of health. On Mos Eisley, you can be Tusken Raiders or Jawas. The Jawas are overpowered. They just have the Arc Blaster. You electrocute the Tusken Raiders to death.
Yeah.
Ewoks and Stormtroopers on Endor. Right. Gungans on Naboo. Gungans and something else. Probably clones. No, it's Stormtroopers. I think those are the only modes.
That
But
sounds
those are fun.
right.
Space battles are cool, but it's the same battle every time, so it gets old. And then, yeah, I mean, good selection of maps. I like some more than others. Geonosis, I'm not a fan of anymore. I used to love.
I can't stand Geonosis.
I used to love it when I was little, but I hate it now.
I like Megiddo, Mustafar. Mustafar is one of my favorites.
Mustafar has grown on me. I don't know why you can play Darth Maul on Mustafar, but you do instead of Anakin Skywalker.
But you can play as Anakin for the Empire on Mustafar.
And not Darth Vader.
Which, okay, I guess
Makes no
technically
sense.
that's the moment the Clone Wars ended.
Guess who you can play for the villain hero on Gavin freaking 4? Clone Wars era. Take a guess, Lexi.
I don't know. Wait. When is this? What game is this again?
The 2005 Battlefront 2. Don't look it up.
I'm not. I don't know who you don't play as. So
Take a guess, Jarod. Clone Wars era, Yavin 4. What villain do you play as?
The villain you play as for 90% of the Clone Wars planet's fucking Darth Maul.
Why?
I was gonna guess Darth Maul. I was gonna guess Darth Maul.
Why is it Maul?
I was so confused as a kid as to why they even let Maul be a part of the Clone Wars
And
stuff.
then,
I get why,
yeah.
because he's cool as shit. Do what you got to do. But I was so confused by it. Why?
And then, isn't it freaking Boba Fett in the Galactic Civil War?
I think you're right. That's one of the
Why?
Boba planets.
Why? Make it Vader. Make it the Emperor. They were there. They were in the region.
Yeah, Vader makes way more sense.
Yeah. So some of it doesn't make sense. Some of it is laughable. But yeah, it's still playable, which is to be commended. It's from 2005, and you can still get a good time out of it.
100%.
So that's mine. That's my tea, as the young ones say. It is 6 o'clock. It is time for Tubby bye-bye. So, for me, at least.
That's why we almost bungled the intro, because he was talking about how him and his brother have been speaking exclusively in Teletubbies references.
I love that.
We
I
bring
love
references as jokes to when we play League of Legends sometimes.
that. I love that.
Luke's was, whenever it's time to get the hell out of there, his new fad is say time for Tubby bye-bye.
Fun fact, when I was little, I exclusively referred to Cinnamon Toast as Tubby Toast.
Tubby toast.
As a small child.
Tubby custard. Tubby custard.
All right. I am...
Safe travels, Levi.
See ya.
Bye. So,
Lexi.
I don't have many, and I wish I knew what you guys were talking about, and that's why I was drifting off, looking at my phone, because I hear you guys.
This summer, I am putting it down in the books. We are getting you behind the controls of The Force Unleashed, and behind
I hear you
Battlefront
guys
2.
talk about this all the time, right? And as a young girl, although I watched the Star Wars movies with my dad, I liked Star Wars, but I always thought it was a boys' thing. You know, that was me pre-programmed to like stay away from the
Mhm.
boys' stuff. So I didn't play any of what you guys played at all. You know, I had Nintendogs and other stuff, but I didn't play that. Um, what I do remember playing as a young child, which I never owned it, and I was always very sad about it because I know Levi was making fun of himself being a lower middle class child, but I feel like I was a lower middle class child more than he was. I had everything I had wanted. I don't mean that, but it's just like some of those bigger games I never really had. Um, Plus, I didn't have an interest in playing video games much as a kid, unless it was Mario Kart with my brother. Um, but my neighbor and my friend, as like until like early junior high, when we were like, I don't know, 6, 7, I don't know when those games are out, and you can tell me in a minute. But I used to go over to his house when we were real little and play the Lego Star Wars collection with him on his GameCube all the time. It was my favorite thing on this earth. I still really want to get them. I have the Force Awakens one, the new one. Um,
Yeah, Force
but
Awakens.
I want the old ones, and I have a GameCube, so like I want to try to look for them for GameCube. That might be
I didn't
hard
know
to
you had a
do.
cube. I didn't know you had a cube.
That was my first console as for myself.
I knew. Let me rephrase that. I know at one point you owned a GameCube. I didn't realize your
I
GameCube
still
still
have
worked
it.
and you have it.
Yes, I just don't know where the one wire is for it to work. So I can't plug it in, but I have it. Um, but if I can find those Lego Star Wars, it was just the trilogy, right? Or was it like I can't remember which ones there were. I just
So,
remember Slave Leia dancing around in her little Lego self outfit.
so originally they did them in like a really weird. I It stuns me that Traveler's Tales have not gotten shit for the way that they released those games because they did Lego Star Wars. It was just called Lego Star Wars, and it was the prequel trilogy. And then they did 2, which was the OT. And then they did the complete saga. And the fact that like they got away scot-free with doing the complete saga, I
So
think
the
the only
complete saga
reason
had the other games in it too? Was it just all of
it
it in one?
it was all of it in one.
Okay, I
And
played all of them because this kid had all of them.
I
Um,
think the reason why they got a free pass with complete saga was that complete saga came out in time for the next gen consoles, so that like if you played the first 2, you would be able to replay them all on one disc on the Xbox 360,
yeah.
PS2 or 3, whichever one it was, um, and then the Wii. Because I had complete saga for the Wii, and that's where I played it a
It
lot.
doesn't matter what console necessarily. I just want it. I have a Wii. I have my Xbox 360. I have my Xbox One and PlayStation 4, and my GameCube. I would like to get them for the GameCube, but I don't know how hard it is to. But yeah, that was my shit as a kid. Um, for some reason, I never owned it. So yeah. Um, I can't think of anything else. Give me a second. Um, I didn't play any of the OG Battlefront. I just played the new ones, the new stuff. I missed out on all that. Not because of being poor. I make it sound like my childhood was awful. I I I had a great childhood and I was a spoiled little brat, but not when it came to video games. But um,
Just one blind spot in the brathood.
yep, it was just video games. I had consoles. I had my stuff, but I just didn't have the games. Webkins was where it was at for me. Yeah, so I don't know. I think you made me play one of those old ones once. What was that one? It was like
I saw this. You got like a bundle with the first Battlefront 2015.
no, but I mean, at your house at Nana's, I played one of the old games with you, and I don't remember what it was. I have no idea what it was.
Oh, Jedi Academy.
I think
It was
maybe.
the versus mode on Jedi Academy, I think.
That was cool. You know, it was frustrating, but it was cool. But
Jedi
yeah.
Academy and Jedi Outcast are on my list, and I want to talk
Yeah.
about those. So yeah.
So I had a bundle when I got my. Was that my PlayStation? Yeah, it was my PlayStation.
Yeah.
So I forget what they were. Give me a second. But I got my Battlefront, like the first one, the remake. And it came with 2 or 3 other like little Star Wars games, and then I have Battlefront 2 on my Xbox One. But what were those little games? The one was like a TIE fight. No, it was like a X-wing thing. It was like
So it was
pilot.
Jedi Starfighter. It was Jedi
Yeah.
Starfighter, which is a fun game. It's a fun one. It's underrated. I'm not much of like a flight simulator guy, but it's fun. And I think it was like Super Star Wars. Like it was like an update. Like it was like a console version of like the Super Nintendo Star Wars game.
I don't
It was
remember the
something like
first
that.
two. Or there was something else. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I know the one I
It was
got
like
excited to
a
see
side
was-
scroller thing. I don't remember.
That would have been Super Star Wars, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. Is there anything else? Am I missing? Did I play anything? I don't think so.
I mean, there's the Connor one.
Oh, Connor's favorite. I played. Give me a second. Give me a second. Give me a second. I'm having a brain fart. Fallen Order, Jedi Fallen Order, that I finished a few months ago. I love that game. It took me a while to finish it because I was busy and whatever. But also, I'm like Levi, where if I get like really mad at a game, I have to step away for a hot minute, and then I forget to go back to it. So
I want to say this, and I want to put this caveat up top. I do not mean this to make fun. However, getting to listen to Alexis try to do the final fight with the second sister
I got so
was some of the
mad.
funniest shit I've heard in my life.
So mad.
I can count on one hand the amount of times I've heard her get that vulgar. And it's been like serious shit. The other times where she was like saying some choice words, and then mixed in with that is fighting the second sister.
And it wasn't even on the hardest setting. It was on medium, and then I put it down to easy, and I still was getting mad. But because what are the
She's
levels?
a hard fight. She's a hard fight.
What
I've
are the
said
levels?
It's story mode. I think it's story mode, Padawan, Knight, Master, Grandmaster.
So I had it on night, and I was getting really, really pissed off and frustrated. And I had to lower it to Padawan, I think. And I was like, I was still mad. Did I finish it off or did you? I don't remember.
You did it.
I did it, I guess. But
Yeah, I didn't. I
was
didn't
still
get to
having
fight
trouble.
her. I was upset because there was a part of me that was hoping I'd get like at least one round in with Trilla, because that's my
wanted to
favorite
get
fight in the
myself
game.
So bad. I'm so stubborn. I had to make sure it was me. But like, I've never been more angry at a game, I don't think, in my entire life. Because I don't for real rage. I rage to be funny sometimes and like pretend to twist my controller or whatever. But like that was the first time I was actually mad. Like I was actually really angry. But it's a great game and I love BD1 or yeah, BD1? BD1.
Yep.
And Cal so much. I want to do when I get my hair red again. I mean, it's like strawberry blonde at the moment, but when I go red again, I really want to do a femme Cal Kestis. That's in the works in my brain at some point. But yeah, I think that was the only other one that I played.
Well, I just want to share Fallen Order with you because I think that like in the modern era, I think it's all around my favorite Star Wars game. But I want to talk more about other ones that are a little bit more on the nostalgic side for mine. So I want to like go fitty with you on Fallen Order because I really love the lightsaber combat in it. Like I think it's probably the most fine-tuned use of a lightsaber in any Star Wars game. And that's another reason why I so look forward to you going back to some of the older stuff. Because
sorry.
You're good.
You don't need internet to play those, do you?
The old ones?
Yeah, any of the ones you want me to play.
Not that I can think of. I mean, like, you'd probably, like, I know, like, on the Xbox and shit like that, you can, probably the PlayStation as well, you can buy them through the store. Like, I know Force Unleashed and Force Unleashed 2
yes, but
are
you have
available for
them.
purchase.
You own them?
Yeah.
For what?
Xbox 360.
And you don't need to be connected to the internet to play them.
Nope.
Ideas for nighttime camping in the cabin.
Because we have a TV and it's oh my god, oh shit.
I mean, there's no TV at the cabin, but I can bring a TV and we can play it when we don't have anything else to do.
That'll be cool as shit.
There's outlets. Sorry, I'm planning ahead of time.
I'm glad you're planning. And that means
podcast.
I will bring some of my shit so we can also do like a Soul Calibur or Injustice tournament or some shit.
Not all of it. Not all of it. Don't bring too much because it's supposed to be camping. We're supposed to be in the outdoors. But
I know, but at nighttime.
Late at night. Yeah.
I'm saying I'll bring like a fighter or two.
Yeah. Okay.
And I will opt out of the tournament.
Podcast happening at the moment. I'm thinking, but
listen,
go ahead.
I feel like it's part of our brand that we just plan social events on the shows sometimes.
It's true. It's true. I still want my money, not from you, but from you, but everybody. So,
but no, I that's one of the reasons why I'm so looking forward to you playing some of these older games, is because like you got frustrated with the controls for Fallen Order. Like the lightsaber combat is nowhere near as fine-tuned in some of the other games. And at the very least, like you don't get the kind of options in combat that you do with Cal's saber staff. Like I've said before, that is one of my favorite things in any game is the fact that I can just switch that into a second blade.
I just don't know whether I'm stupid or not, but I have such a hard time like recognizing a pattern off the bat. Like, you know, a fight pattern that they do. So like you have to wait and then strike or whatever. Sometimes I can and sometimes I can't. But when I was fighting her, it was really hard to recognize her pattern because I was just so like frustrated. And I remember Travis telling me that there's a fight pattern, you know, and I'm like, I don't care. I can't. I'm not paying attention to that.
See, that's funny because like with Trilla, like I'm normally good at sussing out like the pattern recognition.
Mm-hmm.
With every time I fought Trilla, I was not paying attention to that. I was just completely on like I just need to block you because you're too goddamn fast.
That's what I was doing.
And it was like it turned into like trying to be on a counter offensive, which just made it so exhilarating for me because again, I love like the way that you get those options in combat, that you can switch between the saber staff and the single blade, and how I would do that a lot, especially in the one-on-one duels. That like I'd enter the fight with one blade, and then once the other character kind of switched their style up, I'd go, okay, well, now I need to be faster, or now I need to like be oriented towards strength, and pick and choose between that. I still really hope whenever Fallen Order 2 comes out, they give you the option to use them as two separate swords.
Mm-hmm.
And that you have the choice between one staff or just dual wielding. Because that is my favorite attack in the game, is when he pulls them apart and does the little tornado and just wrecks shit. Also, now that I'm remembering, you had me beat Terran Malicos.
Yes, that was it. That was another one that I got angry at.
But no, I love the customization. I've talked about it before, and I will always say it. Like playing Fallen Order, beating Fallen Order the week before I went to Disney World, knowing the lightsaber I was going to build and getting to build it in the game, it was really cool. Like it felt so badass. And then coming back home and replaying the game with my lightsaber, like my lightsaber, it made me feel so good. It was that is probably the most, like, you know, Travis and I like to make fun of that one video where it's like, it makes you feel like Spider-Man, makes you feel like Batman. This is the most I've ever felt like a Jedi playing a video game. And it's probably all around my favorite. And I look forward to part 2. Anything else before I run through more of my list?
No, because I don't think I played anything else.
All right.
I think
so
that's it for me.
The rest of this is going to be me trying to pitch Lexi on some of these older games. Starting with the one that I'm 99% sure that we played.
Mm-hmm.
But it was the versus mode, Star Wars Jedi Academy. Probably my third favorite Star Wars game of all time. Having gone back and replayed it recently, might be number 3. At the beginning of the game, you get to create your own Jedi. And you are enrolled and learning in Luke Skywalker's Jedi Academy. And the whole game is you being one of like Luke's most prodigal students and going on all manner of missions in service of the new Jedi Order. Very fun. Very. It is very much some gray Jedi propaganda. So they freely let you just use Force Choke and Force Lightning for some reason. Which, whatever, go off. I disagree with that philosophy on the Force, but it makes for good Force powers in video games, so I'll let it pass. You get to like pick your lightsaber style to a certain extent. Like you can pick between like medium, fast, and heavy, which is really cool. Later in the game, you get to unlock lightsaber variants, so you can do dual wielding or you can do a staff. Cool shit like that. You can do like, there's like a myriad different types of aliens you can pick. Very fun. Pick your lightsaber color.
I love the custom stuff. That's what I like. If there's a game that is, if it has like customization, I'm in. I just really like being immersed into it, like as if I'm actually choosing something. You know, I think that's why I liked Fallen Order so much too. Is like you could pick stuff.
And please give us more than ponchos and jumpsuits in the next game. Respawn, please. Let me put Jedi robes on. Let me wear an actual Jedi outfit.
Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. I agree with you completely. That's one of the reasons why I love Jedi Academy. It's one of the reasons why, and I got to make sure I give you the right copy if we try to play Force Unleashed or I loan you Force Unleashed, is that the special edition of Force Unleashed has all these really cool outfits that like are very, very like my particular Star Wars aesthetic. Like it's a lot of sleek armors and like armor robe hybrids and armor robe hybrids with capes. Like there's a lot of that, or like long trench coat type things. I like that aesthetic, and that's one of the reasons why I like Ultimate Sith Edition for Force Unleashed, because it gives you those options to customize. We talked about Force Unleashed, Jedi Outcast, which is a sequel to Jedi Academy, where you play as Kyle Katarn, the guy.
Can I be heard? Can you hear me? No? Can they hear me? I don't know who can hear me.
And we're back because I've been using my computer all day. Voicemeter decided it was time to hit me with an ad that would disrupt the show, but we're back. Anyway, any hoozles. Kyle Katarn, the guy who's directly training your character in Jedi Academy, over the course of several video games and novel events that make him take a step away from the Jedi Order, we pick up in Jedi Outcast with him trying to just be a mercenary, he's a missionary. He's going to underdeveloped countries and such. No, he's a mercenary and doing his own thing. And then he's eventually pulled back into the Jedi Order to avenge his partner in crime and romance, Jan Orens, I can't remember, Orson? I can't remember how to say her last name. But he's pulled back in to avenge his partner in crime and romance after she is seemingly killed by a cult of dark Jedi come to try to help resurrect the Empire. Another really fun one, a lot less customization. However, the versus mode is so much fun. They have a very, very like, okay. This is what I'm going to sell you on, okay?
Okay.
Team deathmatch.
Uh-huh.
With lightsabers.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess that would be cool. It's just like, I know it's hard to work with lightsabers with, like, it depends on how easy the button work and the joystick stuff is for me.
So, you know how I talk about that one game, Obi-Wan, all the time, where it's the right joystick that controls the lightsaber? It's kind of like that.
Okay.
Where it's not only the right joystick. You have to hit the right trigger to swing, but you have to swing and then move the joystick around.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure it could be done and finesse it.
The more finesse, the prettier it looks. Like when you don't know what you're doing, it's just like. But I've seen, and I'm still not that good at it.
Can somebody go back and make that a GIF of him, please? Thank you. Whoever is watching and can do that, I would love that. Thank
you. At least edit in a lightsaber blade for context.
Or other things. It's up to you. But
But no, like whenever I've seen people play those games who like have the lightsaber combat down to a science, and it is just gorgeous blade work. Plus, Jedi Outcast has some gnarly ass dismemberment, and I remember I was playing it once, and the way that force speed in that game works is very cool. It's best to anybody who hasn't played it. It's best compared to how the Flash's super speed is framed in Zack Snyder's Justice League, where like it feels like we're watching it from his perspective, and he's moving at like a normal speed, but everything around him is like pretty much frozen. That's how they do the force speed in the game, pretty much. And there was one time that I was getting like rushed by stormtroopers, and I hit the force speed, and I just did like one big arc around myself and like beheaded like 8 stormtroopers at once. And
I'm
they
sure
all, like,
that's satisfying.
they all fell in unison, and like the helmets were bouncing around. And again, that's right up there on like the times where I was like, I am a force god. Please try me.
I can't stop yawning. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Life as a college student, and somebody who doesn't get sleep, but he knows that because we both don't get sleep. But anyway, you can see the bags and the dark circles under my eyes. Anyway, last week
I'm too far away for anybody to be able to see me.
I would be far away if it weren't for the fact that I can't see anything, and my glasses, I know you've seen me have them on, but I keep forgetting that they're all scratched up. So I can't see through the lenses anyway. And so I put them on and I'm like, oh yeah, I can't see anyway. So I take them off. Or else I would be sitting further away and not like up on the camera. But anyway, I keep sidetracked. I swear to God, sometimes I have ADHD. Keep talking.
No, last one, and this is what I'm going to close on. No, I'm not going to talk about Obi-Wan because I've beaten that horse into the ground. However, I kind of also want to bring my old Xbox to camp so that everybody can experience that
well,
game.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if it's all Xbox, is it 360 you're talking about?
No, OG.
Oh, like, okay. Well, I mean, I don't know. It's up to you if you want to bring it, but I'm not looking to, like, be glued to the TV all week. But if you want to bring it. Is there backwards compatibility at all, or no?
No, it is too old, and I'm pretty sure all of the studios involved in making it, by the time backwards compatibility where it was an option, were just all defunct. And as much as I love that shit ass game, it is not worth the trouble of trying to make it backwards compatible. Well, if you want to,
because I might leave you in charge of bringing the 360. So
bring yours. Mine's beat to shit. Bring yours. Mine's paperweight.
I don't know what my password is, but I will figure all that out. That's why I'm saying if you're only bringing one game for one console, like it may be too much trouble, but that's up to you.
That's a good point. But one that actually is backwards compatible. The Revenge of the Sith movie game.
I think you've talked about this before. Isn't there like alternate endings or something?
It has an alternate ending where Anakin kills Obi-Wan on Mustafar.
Oh yes, that's really cool. I like the concept of that.
It doesn't go anywhere with it, and it ends abruptly because as cool as it is, just as cool as the visual of Anakin winning is, like on its own.
Yeah.
The idea that he immediately would turn around and kill Palpatine is kind of poppycock. Because he would kill him eventually. I don't think he would like go, hey, Sheev, how's it going? Within moments of killing Kenobi. But, it was that era in the early 2000s where every single movie had a video game tie-in.
Yep.
Like, if this movie could even a little bit be marketed towards kids or teens, it got a game. Everything, literally everything. There was a Cat in the Hat video game, and I owned it and I played it. Tune in to Teen at Movie Club on Thursday. The Revenge of the Sith game, in my opinion, is on the short list of movie tie-in games that are kind of actually really good. Like, most of them are made on a shoestring budget deliberately just to drive up some of the merchandising money for a movie. I think the only two that are like really good that I can think of off the top of my head are Revenge of the Sith and the Spider-Man 2 game. Like, those are the two that stand head and shoulders above all of their contemporaries. And granted, it's not hard to. But the Revenge of the Sith game is so much fun. You trade off playing as either Obi-Wan or Anakin, depending on the mission. You get to experience all of the iconic duels in Revenge of the Sith, including two that they add. One of which it has what should have been in the movie, where Anakin actually fights Mace Windu. Instead of him just lopping off his hand, they have like a full-fledged duel right in front of Palpatine. You get to play through Anakin's attack on the temple, where for like 2.5 missions, it is just you squaring off with Jedi after Jedi after Jedi, and it's kind of cool as shit. Like, I don't want to be too much of a dude, bro. I don't want to pull a Star Wars theory and, how he was talking about, like, I just want to see Anakin mowing down everybody in the temple. And it's like, situationally, I can agree with you. Situationally, in the video game, when it's just framed as lightsaber duel after lightsaber duel after lightsaber duel, yeah, I'm glad they don't make me kill the fucking children. Like, it glosses over that part. But other than that, it's just a bunch of cool Space Wizard fights. But on top of Anakin's siege on the temple, you also get to fight the Jedi Battlemaster Sin Dralig, who we see Anakin fighting in the security hologram, but we don't actually watch the fight in the movie. And fun fact, jumping back several years, go back and watch that scene. I only noticed this because of Alexis pointing it out to me. When we see the security hologram of Anakin fighting Jedi and Revenge of the Sith, he grabs one of them by the throat. And I was, however old I was when you pointed that out to me, years old.
When?
I don't know.
We were that.
Revenge of the Sith was on TV. We were watching it, and you noticed, because in that security hologram is where he's fighting Sin Dralig in the movie, and it's like a blink and you miss it cameo, because Sin Dralig is based on the guy who choreographed all the fights for the prequels. Like, his name is a reverse of Nick Gillard.
Yeah, but I don't remember what I even pointed out. I'll have to rewatch.
Yeah, and again, it's blink and you miss it, but there's this one brief moment where Anakin's like blocking lightsaber blades and then just like a dude by the throat. It goes to show the viciousness of what was happening in the temple. But they had the fight with Windu. They had the fight with Sin Dralig. I like the version of Obi-Wan and Grievous's fight way better in the game, because the fight does not last. The lightsabers don't last 30 seconds in this one. It's an actual duel with Grievous the entire time. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's probably one of my favorites, and I look to this game as all the evidence in the world as to why my pitch for a Star Wars fighting game would be free money, because there's a versus mode that, again, I think everybody's recognizing a pattern that all my favorite Star Wars games have a versus mode, but where you get to play as all the, it starts with you just Obi-Wan or Anakin, and then all the characters you defeat, you unlock. So Eventually, you unlock Count Dooku, you unlock Mace Windu, you unlock Sindraleg, Grievous, Sindraleg's Padawan, Sierra Keto, and there's a bonus mission at the very, very end of the game after you beat the game, do the alternate timeline where Anakin wins. You then unlock a bonus mission where you get to play as Darth Vader fighting old Ben Kenobi. And then you unlock Vader and old Ben in the versus mode as well. It's just such a fun game. It's very much right up there with Star Wars Obi-Wan, and that like this helped define my favorite aesthetics and looks for Star Wars. And I think it's highly underrated and deserves to be played. And it's aged well as well. It's definitely aged well. It is not one of those like, oh, what is happening right now? I can't make out a single thing I'm seeing type thing, like Shadows of the Empire, stuff like it. But yeah, I think that's all we have this week. Lexi, where can the lovely people find you, my friend?
Losing followers on Twitter for some reason. I don't know why. I lost another couple today.
I saw that trending. I think that there's something happening with Twitter.
Okay, because
I saw something about
like.
No, I think everybody's losing followers. I think they're probably doing like a bot cleanse, or they're getting rid of like accounts that haven't been active for X amount of time.
Okay.
Because I know they deactivate accounts that haven't tweeted in like X amount of whatever.
Okay. Then I guess it's not me being annoying or something.
People aren't unfollowing you. I've seen too many people go, where are all my followers going?
Okay.
So
good. I hope you're not saying that to just make me feel better.
I'm not. No, I literally saw that while I was trying to DM Frank Alvarez, who's going to be on a special episode of Knights of the Nerd Republic, #1 contender that's going up on Monday, where I'm going to interview him about Schmodown shit. Anyway.
You can find me on Twitter at LexiLion98, because I like lions. And Acapella98 on Instagram. Jarod, why are you laughing?
I opened my phone and it went to Instagram, and Michael Che, the guy who does Weekend Update on SNL, alongside Colin Jost, he's been clowning on the very controversial decision to have Elon Musk host this weekend. And there was a New York Post article that read, SNL cast won't be forced to appear with controversial host Elon Musk. To which Michael Che responds to it with, wait a minute, has this noun that he's allowed to say that I'm not allowed to say never been on TV before? Also, does this rule mean I won't be forced to appear next to Colin Jost anymore? Hashtag cancel Jost.
Oh my God.
For those of you at home who aren't SNL watchers, Michael Che has made it his job to convince the internet that Colin Jost is a vicious racist and bigot. The funniest things that have happened on SNL over the past few years have been the nights where Michael Che writes Colin Jost's jokes and they end with him saying really racist shit on live television, and Colin Jost going, I didn't write it. It was him. It was him. It wasn't me. It's my favorite bit. But I love Michael Che very much. All the hoopla. You guys can find Levi. You can find the other Dago who was no longer sitting next to me on Twitter at Professor Levi, and you can find him live streaming on Twitch every so often at Mr._McFeely on Twitch. His and Travis's Twitch channels will be linked in the descriptions down below. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552.
You did it again.
What?
You ran over my bit. I was going to say a bit before all that. I was going to
say your bit.
Nothing. Go ahead.
No. Say the bit.
It's too late. The moment passed. Keep talking.
There's no such thing as too late.
Keep talking. I need to go.
I can manipulate time now. You can say your bit.
It's not worth it. Go ahead.
You're no fun.
You're no fun. You don't let me talk.
I'm sorry. It's not on purpose. I'm trying to speed it up. You guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at DarkJedi2552, and you can find the Nerd Academy podcast on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on our website, www.thenerdacademypodcast.com, where if you're feeling generous, you can donate to our Patreon page. Speaking of our patrons, thank you to our $10 alumnus, Case and Brion, the Waffle Wizard, Delta 9, and Zach Knaus. You guys help us make the content that we love to produce.
Thank you.
Very much. Be sure to consider the $5 tier where you get access to the Knights of the Nerd Republic Versus series, Heroic History 101, and the TNAP Movie Club audio commentaries. Click on the student store link in our bio to check out all manner of Nerd Academy merch and goodies. And be sure to do all the things like comment, subscribe, that stuff. With that, we are honored that you have joined us. Be sure to tune back in on Tuesday for a special episode of Knights of the Nerd Republic. We'll be celebrating May the 4th. And may the Force be with you always.